Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to draw a groundhog. For this project you're going to need a piece of paper, something to write with and draw with, and crayons to color. Let's get started. To draw the groundhog, you're going to start with your paper. You're going to hold it the long way, and you're going to start about in the middle of the paper, and you're going to make a rounded smile shape. So it almost looks like a fishbowl shape. Nice medium size. Curl around and stop short of closing it. Next, you're going to connect these two with some zigzag lines. So zigzag lines just kind of look like upside down V's. They go up and down, up and down. And you do that till you reach all the way across to the other side. Right at the beginning of that zigzag line, you're going to make a rainbow line on the side of what's now his head. So there's a rainbow line. Come on the other side where you ended your zigzags and do another rainbow line. You're going to do two more rainbow lines this side inside of those bigger rainbow lines we just made. So another one inside, and another rainbow line inside. Next, you're going to come down to the bottom of what's now our groundhog's head, and you're going to make some waterfall lines that start at the bottom of his head and come down to the bottom of the paper. So comes out a little bit and then falls straight down. Do the same thing on the other side. Come out just a little and then come straight down to the bottom of the paper. On the sides of those waterfall lines, you're going to make some more rainbow lines. So you're going to start right at the end. You're going to come up to your rainbow and come back down again. Do the same thing on the other side. Come up just a little, then come back down. Inside those rainbow lines, you're going to make about 3 or 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to do it on both rainbow lines that we just made. Now we're starting to see our groundhog's body, but let's add some facial details. So I'm going to start right in the middle of his face, and I'm going to draw a circle that I'm going to darken in. You may want to use a crayon to color it black if you're drawing with a pencil. Next, you're going to make some really thin smile shapes. You're going to be making 2 that are attached to this black dot that we just drew. So I start on the side just a little, come down, and curve up again. And I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to start where I just left off. Another thin smile line. So I'm going to come down, go out, and up. At the bottom of those thin smile lines, make 2 short lines coming down and connect them with a straight line at the bottom. And right in the middle, where those rainbow lines or those smile lines connect, make a straight line down. You're going to come up just a little bit here, and you're going to draw 2 circles for eyes. Circles or ovals are fine. It's really up to you. And I always draw another line inside, or another circle inside for eyes. And I color in almost all the way. I make 1 more circle and then I darken in, but I leave that little white circle there so I have a little shine in his eyes. Next, I'm going to draw some flattened rainbow lines right on the sides of his face. So 1, 2, 3. Those are whiskers. And I do the same thing on the other side. Those flattened rainbow lines, I do about 3 on each side. inside, I'm also going to just add some little dots to finish up the details of his face and his mouth. I come back to the bottom of the page and I'm going to kind of I want it to look like my groundhog is popping up out of the ground. So I'm going to start where I ended that last little paw. I'm going to come up and curve around, and I'm going to stop short of his body, then come back over to the other end and connect it and bring it back around. And then when I darken this in or color it in with a black crayon, it will look just like my groundhog is sitting inside of his hole. If you want to pause the video and catch up with the coloring of this part, that's absolutely fine. You can really pause the video anytime you like if you need a little bit more time to draw and follow the directions or do any coloring or anything like that. So now it looks like my groundhog is sitting in his little hole, but the groundhog is also going to be looking for the weather because we're getting ready for Groundhogs Day. So in the sky right by his head, I'm also going to add a circle for a sun. And I just do some little zigzag lines that go all the way around to complete my sun. And on the other side, I'm going to do those short rainbow lines. That's what I start with first. Then they turn into sideways C's. Then they turn into smiles and a forward C. So now I have my groundhog and we're ready to color him in. So let's do that now. Now that I've colored in my groundhog, let's review some trick words. Remember, trick words, sight words, or know by heart words are words that you cannot sound out, you have to memorize. So let's take a look at a few of them now. This word is can. Read it with me, can. Let's spell it. C-A-N, and the word is can. This next word is his. Read it with me, his. Let's spell it. H-I-S, and the word is his. My next word is he. Read it with me, he. Let's spell it. H-E, and the word is he. Our next word is yes. Read it with me, yes. Let's spell it. Y-E-S, and the word is yes. Our next word is no. Read it with me, no. Let's spell it. N-O, and the word is no. Our next word is see. Read it with me, see. Let's spell it. S-E-E, and the word is see. Our next word is the. Read it with me, the. Let's spell it. T-H-E, and the word is the. Our last word is little. Read it with me, little. Let's spell it. L-I-T-T-L-E, and the word is little. So our writing today is going to be, can the little groundhog see his shadow? And we're going to use some of those other trick words that we just practiced to answer that question. It's going to be your choice. So let's get started with our writing. I've got my paper here. Remember, when you start writing, you start at the top and the left. I like to use lined paper to make my writing neat. But let's get started with our sentence. Our first word was can. Do you remember how to spell can? Remember, we start with an uppercase letter and we write C-A-N, can. 'N, 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 can. 'N Let's keep reading. Can the. Do you remember how to spell the? Add a finger space and write T-H-E, the. Fingers ready to read. Can the little. Do you remember how to spell the word little? Add a finger space and write L-I-T-T-L-E, little. Fingers ready to read. Can the little groundhog. Groundhog wasn't a trick word. If you feel like you can sound it out, you can pause the video. But if you're not quite ready for that because it's such a long word, here is a label for the word groundhog. Don't forget to add a finger space before you start copying it. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to come back to the left and the bottom, and then I'm going to copy the word groundhog. Fingers ready to read again. Can the little groundhog see? Do you remember how to spell the word see? Add a finger space and write S-E-E, see. Fingers ready to read again. Can the little groundhog see his? Do you remember how to spell the word his? Add a finger space and write H-I-S, his. Fingers ready to read again. Can the little groundhog see his shadow? Shadow was another word that is not a trick word. So you can either pause the video and sound out the word shadow, or you can copy my label, shadow. I'm running out of room, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more writing paper so that I have enough room to write. Fingers ready to read. Can the little groundhog see his shadow? Now that's the end of my first sentence. And do you know what kind of punctuation I'm going to use? I'm going to use a question mark because I'm asking a question. Can the groundhog see his shadow? Now comes the part where you are going to give an answer or make a prediction. Do you think the groundhog will see his shadow on Groundhogs Day? If you think that he will, you can write the sentence, yes, he can. I have the word yes. Let me move that up just a little bit. He and can. These are all trick words, so you can use them to answer the question. Don't forget to make that Y in uppercase if you're writing a new sentence, or when you're writing the new sentence. And if you're like Mrs. Signor and you don't think that the groundhog is going to see his shadow, you can write no, he can not. Now, not is a word that we can sound out. So I'm just going to grab a little piece of scrap paper here, and we're going to sound out the word not. I have my tapping cubes here, so watch me say the sounds in not. N-at, not. N is N. N-ah. Ah is O. N-A-T. T is T. And again, I would start my sentence with an uppercase N because this is a new sentence. So you can finish up your writing and decide if the groundhog will see his shadow. And then on February 2nd, you can find out if your prediction was correct. I hope you enjoyed doing this lesson, and I hope you enjoyed drawing our little groundhog. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!